say that a family member, a sibling, a parent had a reaction, I want to try to figure out, make sense of that, and what's the reason for that, and what's the cause of that, and what's the association. If I can't figure a medical reason for that, if I'm not sure it's related to the vaccine itself, it doesn't make sense to me to give a medical exemption for that. If I can figure out a reason for that, and I think that their child is now at risk, then I want to get to the bottom of that for that child, and I want to delay vaccination until I can. And if a medical exemption is due, then I would want to give it. I'd be foolish not to give them a medical exemption if I thought that the vaccine was going to cause them harm. I'm coming from a place where I'm assuming that both the parent and the physician want what's best for the child. So I would not want a child vaccinated if I thought that they were going to have a bad reaction.
And how would you screen for that?
It would depend on the individual. So that's where I think Dr. Pan was talking about how it's medical judgment and it depends on the specific circumstances.
And what's the process for that?
It would be gaining a history, talking to the parent, asking them about that, trying to think about how that makes sense related to that vaccine.
So I am a lay person, so could you break that down for me, because this is a very serious issue. So being specific and to the point, I think it's really important. I think that when you're looking at this and you're screening, you've just been told that perhaps their twin or perhaps another sibling had a strong reaction, maybe a fatal reaction, somewhere in that continuum. So what types of questions as a parent would you be asking me about my child if that was my child?
So, for example, I can tell you a patient that I saw who had a severe immune deficiency, severe combined immune deficiency syndrome, and their sibling had the same thing. It's a genetic disorder. And when they had a history of severe infections, and when they got a vaccine, they had the vaccine, it was a live vaccine, it multiplied more than they would want it to. And so that was a bad reaction to that vaccine. And then when I saw that child, the second child, I would want to make sure that that child does not have severe combined immune deficiency syndrome before I gave them that type of vaccine, and I can test for that.
Okay, so that's one of those things that we can test for. But is it ever possible for a child to have a very strong reaction, a very negative reaction, and they don't have that? Are there other symptoms that that you can determine a cause and effect, or is there some randomness to this where you have there's no reason to believe that this child's going to have a reaction, yet they do?
I agree with both those statements. Yes, that in some cases there is cause and effect, and in some cases there's a randomness to it. Yes. Okay,
so in the case of the randomness, and you had a parent, and I'm that parent, and one of my children have a very strong reaction because of the randomness, is your judgment that my other children should or should not receive, and are there additional questions and other filters that you would use?
I would do my very best to try to get at the bottom of trying to sort out why the reaction occurred, and if I could not figure that out, and if I was really convinced that it was random, then I would talk with that parent and say, listen, with that first child it was random, but I do believe that the benefits of vaccination outweigh the theoretical risks with your second child.
And when you're facing that parent who has gone through that turmoil, and they say, gosh, we don't agree with you, at that point, do you continue on and say, I know better? I don't care what risk it is to your family. We have some folks who said they had 2 children who went through it. So how many children do you have to punish in my family before enough is enough?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I know better.
Wait a second. Can I interject here? That's why the first question I asked was, what does it mean to be vaccine injured? It's potentially a spectrum of things, of having a kind of a bad reaction where you might have a minor response versus a major. So that's the problem with assuming that people today who had 2 vaccine-injured children had 2 children who had serious, we're making assumptions here that I don't think we can necessarily make.
Well, whether it's serious or not, when you have 2 and the doctor has admitted that it's random and he can't make a cause effect, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen in everybody's family with 2 children. I suspect it's fairly rare. And I suspect it's probably fairly rare, according to the testimony earlier, that there's a reaction at all. But yet, when that family, and it's a rare occasion, runs into that circumstance and their first child goes through it. It's the medical opinion that that's just not a high enough bar and that we should go ahead and expose a second child. I think that this is a very dangerous road and that we're gambling on. And I think that is, this is why I think so many parents are upset that here you are not having to take care of that child for the rest of their life, making decisions for them when we know it's a very slim risk, but a risk all the same. And, I'm shifting gears because I think that